halters are designed with bare shoulders and are created by cutting the armhole deeply into the shoulder line. So then we go V-neck halter, pattern, plot and manipulation. This point here, we're going to draw, I'll do it as she does, a guideline, and she's going to basically take away an amount along this seam for gaping. So if you cut away a block, our blocks start with a little extra room in them, all right? And so that's fine for a shirt or something, or a blouse like this. You want room there. But if I cut this now across here and make it into a halter neck, all of a sudden it's gaping here, isn't it? So we need to take a little out, tighten it up. Okay, so it's like we'll take out a little wedge shape to remove the excess along there. So first the guidelines we're drawing in is from the shoulder point there down, and from the center front out. So that's guideline 5. That's guideline 2. Then we're going to mark the neck and connect to guideline 5. So guideline 5 is just the bust level, the center bust level. So that's about as low as she wants to go there. That's quite low. If you go that low, you need to again take some out for gaping, take an amount out of the neckline, because the block is made loose and it will sit away and you'll need to tighten it up. And so essentially that's why she has a little shape drawn on there. You can see it's like a dart shape, and it says 1.75. So A to B, a guideline like that. Then you're going to take the dart out 1.75. So that. So I'm going to extend this center front line, and I'm going to measure over to A. I'm going to find my measurement, and then I'm going to continue that measurement so I can extend up. I'm going to measure 20 up on that. We're going to square out. I'm going to measure 4 across and down. Okay, then we're going to need to draw this line. We are going to come down and in a little bit. So you can see again on her diagram she has measurements. I have transferred them into centimeters, 1.25 in and 1.25 down. So we're tightening in the side seam and we're coming down, we're lowering it a bit. So you have to measure in and down. That's our point, and so now I can draw from there to that point, okay, in a nice curve shape. This line here, this guideline, is essentially giving us the position to take our gaping shape out. So do I have a measurement? Yeah, we have 1.5 there. She does it in a slightly different way to me. It looks slightly different, so don't worry about that. You can just take this shape out. I'm going to darken it in. Okay, so we're going to lose this amount. Okay, it's going to tighten up this measurement. All of a sudden it will be a shorter line. It will sit better, closer to the body. This will be further down. This will be closer to the body again. So when we've come in and we've changed things, we can kind of squiggle through if that's helpful. This is now gone. This is now gone. This is now gone. Do you know? What we see there in blue is our new shape.
Okay.
And we do need to cut this and close over these. So when we do that, the dart will open a little bit bigger. Okay? And so we are essentially taking our gaping out from our seams, our seam lines, and we're putting it into the shaping that is in the block already. All right. So I'm now only tracing all the new lines. So I trace up along my center front. I do need to trace this gaping dart. I need to come up here, and then I come. Then I'm going to cut. Oh yeah, she did put in a guideline 4, sorry, at the beginning, which I didn't put in. And it's because we need it right now. So guideline 4 would have been here, down the center of this dart. Because now I'll need to cut along that line. So that will be my cutting line, or as she would call it, my slash line.
Oh, okay.
Because we need to close this over, but we can't close it over until we have something to put it into. If I try and close these darts, I can't close them, you know. If I close this, it's going to be three-dimensional. I'm all of a sudden going into three-dimensional shaping, you know. Right? But I can't. I'm flat pattern cutting. So if you're ever getting a three-dimensional shape on your flat pattern cutting, you know something's wrong. You've got to cut somewhere. You've got to cut somewhere to get that shape into, you know. It's got to be released into somewhere else. You know, you can close over here, but it's got to open somewhere else. So first of all, you have to understand the concepts of where to do that and where not to. But, you know, so I now can close that, and I'm still flat pattern cutting because it's flat. And I now can close this one. Okay, so what's happened there has been that our this line is now shorter. It's going to be tighter, going to sit nicer on the body. This one as well is going to be tightened up, and it's going to sit nicer along the neck. All right, and we have transferred that amount into our bust. So now we have a very large bust dart. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And so then she was saying you need to you know, tape, trace and blend. So you need to blend that here, blend this here. This is still your center front line. So this, you know, is our grain line, but not this. You know, it looks like one continuous line nearly, but this is slightly angled here. So we need to get our straight grain from our center front line. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the last thing is the shaping. You can see that she has measurements of shaping on this here. So this is a very large and very straight shape like that. The body is not shaped like that. We don't go like that to the bust. The bust is a round shape. And I did a little bit of this yesterday where I curved it and was explaining. I said I'd explain more. So this is where I explain more. What you can do, I can maybe do it here a little bit more obviously. What you want to do is come out, like imagine this is the bust from the side view, do you know? You want to curve that out, so you're adding a couple of millimeters here so that it's a curved shape, and then you want to go start curving in here, because under the bust
so
you know,
that's what
there's
those
less.
lines is it?
So that's what her curved lines are there. She has given more space here to the bust, a couple of millimeters, and then she's come in a couple of millimeters, like maybe 0.5. So I have said to come in 0.5. So in going, meaning that way into your pattern 0.5, and coming out just a couple of, 2 millimeters. But doesn't that look a little bit more like a bust shape if you were to kind of go like that? Do you know what I mean? From the side, that's going to fit a bust better than this straight. Make an attempt at that. Now it should be on there. You can do it on here and then it will be on there, or you can just do it at this stage. Okay, I don't mind. I just feel like this is cut and it's a little bit harder to see. It might be easier to see on this diagram what it is that, you know, we're doing. This is your second construction, and then you'll need to take and do a final trace off of this. and include your labeling and
And this code, no?
the seam allowance and that. So that's where the blending comes in. Here, you know, you're coming down and you want to blend that. Oopsie. So I'm doing a bit of give and take. This one is up here and this one is down here, so I'm kind of coming in the middle and of that. So I'm adding a little bit to one and I'm taking a little bit away from the other. That's kind of one of the general concepts that you can apply in drafting. Most of the time, give and take works the best, okay? That you don't just give a whole bunch to one side or take a whole bunch off. Sometimes that is the case that you will do that, but most of the time, give and take, so blending by taking a little off one that's sitting up and adding a bit to one that's sitting down, that's the general concept, okay? And so I'm just going to draw in this shape so that our final pattern looks like that. Okay, this needs a notch point because that's where the, you know, the neck is. This needs a notch point too, where it comes for the strap. Okay, so there you have your final piece, and we need straighted grain, we need our labeling in it, and that.
It's a bit complicated, you know.
No, you find it okay.